are going to be seeing the Palutena first as we start here on small battlefield. We'll see how Wrath is going to start playing this matchup here, but we know one thing about Palutena. She's just looking for that Nair.
Oh yeah, once you get that Nair, a lot of damage is to follow here. Now, Palutena is going to have some interesting options to try and zone out or just really beat out the spin moves, right? Whenever you're thinking about Sonic, if you haven't seen it in Smash, loves to spin.
Yes, it's very true. One thing for certain here. But it is going to be Chag playing very offensive right now. Hasn't taken any percent just yet here. Good air dodge onto the platform here by Wrath. And if it's one thing about Sonic that we all know and love, it's this touch and go type archetype of style, right? Of, hey, let me get my hit. Let me see how far I can get it. But wait, you're out of it? Let me just go and reset. So I'm interested to see how Chag is going to be handling that.
Yeah, and I mean, whenever you think about Sonic, the character, obviously the Sonic player with the best results in the world is Sonic's, but I think a lot of other Sonic players like Wrath are catching up to Sonic's, and I think a really big deal and what really put Sonic's apart was that offense, was the edge guarding, and I think that's something that Wrath has really cleaned up. I think Wrath, traditionally known as a player that goes for more of the defensive options, but in this game, in Ultimate specifically, you can really turn up the heat with this character.
Yeah, and speaking of turning up the heat, love the double up air here, and now Wrath has evened up the percentage after taking a really big combo right out of the gate here. Here we go, lining up for the edge guard, but great on Chag, and I love the creativity on just getting back to the stage as calmly as possible here. Sonic is one of those characters, Charles, where you kind of can snap, and then all of a sudden your stock is gone when you panic.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you have such hard-hitting moves, right? That forward smash for the two-frame, that back air off stage can do so much work. And spin charge into the forward air is a confirm that can work from center stage, really drag your opponent out with all these different multi-hits. I think Chag doing an incredible job of making sure not getting hit by the forward air, but the up air, the wings are going to connect here.
Yeah, honestly, if you're Chag, while yes, so much in the lead here, but now going to be even back up. I mean, Wrath does an amazing job of slowly bringing back that percentage to a point now where we're about like 2 minutes in, I would say, and now it's even once more. So now we're back to this meticulous mid-game here, all about spacing. Who's going to be able to get this first hit here as Wrath going to try and get the spin charge, but still, I mean, Chag's just going to hold down in center stage, wait for that back hit of Nair to connect.
Yeah, I mean, you just really need that last hit to start the combo. And the one thing, I love these jab ones. There's actually a bunch of different option selects that Chag can opt for with these jab ones, and you can buffer a bunch of different stuff. The up air not connecting here. And one thing that's really important about fighting up against Sonic is, do you have the mobility to chase Sonic down after you shield one of the spin moves, right? That's really, does your character have the chase down? That's why characters like Fox can be really good. Wow, using the Nair pop-up as well to start the combo. Don't even need the last hit.
Honestly, if it's anything that we remember about Palutena, it's this Nair that was really kind of messed up everyone's day in day one of Smash Ultimate almost 7 years ago at this point. Yeah. But Chag is going to get this lead back that he originally had at the start of this game, and we'll see beautiful teleport cancel down, finding that back air, and able now to land on stage here, actually key movement here, and now Wrath has to be the one to approach while Chag still very comfortable with just waiting for the Nair game.
Yeah, really just waiting out, and I mean, honestly, not even really chasing down too much after the spin dash or the spin charge. Another great thing about Palutena, you're going to have that speed, but you're also going to have some projectile threat as well. And here's another combo started, the platform extension, another up air, but the spring to get on out.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what we're going to see from Chag, this kind of momentum here at this point, because once again, Wrath has to be the one to start pushing the problem here, and all Chag has to do is react here, but unable to find the jab. But once again, this back hit of Nair, Charles, so key to getting Chag out of a lot of these pressure situations.
Yeah, I love that you point out that back hit of Nair, just because the way Chag is drifting back as well, very meticulous in that sense, is just not always going forward, right? You see Chag kind of bringing the Nair forward, then bringing it back, really tripping up Wrath, and honestly, getting a lot of these Nair connections is not too easy against Sonic, so I think Chag playing the matchup extremely well.
Yeah, it's about this patience game, right? But here we go. Wrath going to be able to at least find one back air here. Definitely needs the stock at this point, but waiting for Chag to teleport onto stage, finding the dash attack, and we're going coast to coast at this point. A little bit of the tilt here, but just another jab to send Chag off. Just patience is the game right now, but beautiful fair from the ledge from Chag to ensure some safety. Back throw definitely not going to be enough from that angle.
Just needed to be a little bit closer to the edge there, but Wrath is not going to find that maybe forward tilt by the ledge. Needs some kind of answer, but Chag just trying to fight for center stage, keeping the ground. I mean, a spin move into Nair could do the trick here, but really just trying to find some kind of opening, maybe put Chag on the ledge, but Chag has all this rage. You really got to watch out. Back air could do the trick.
Yeah, even catching with an up air, as I was about to say, Charles, but unfortunately, the air dodge is just going to whiff that magnet hands, and Chag going to take a very stoic game one, very strong game one, right? A lot of the times, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, Sonic is one of those characters that can make you doubt yourself in a lot of decisions and can kind of capitalize on those nerves in those moments, right? And Chag being able to just strongly control center stage, strongly kind of contain himself with a lot of these nairs and say, you know what, I'll find that back hit eventually, really kind of turned out for this game one.
Yeah, and I love that Chag made it very difficult for Wrath to find that stock. The defense was incredible, and Sonic is a character, yes, very strong, but very much so stronger with the lead.
That's
and
true.
I mean, Sonic is fast, can find some of these approaches, but I think Chag just played the defense really well. We'll see, the first stock is very important in any Sonic matchup, so we'll see if Wrath can find a lead, find that first stock, and really showcase what Sonic can do on the defensive side rather than the offensive side.
Well, you asked for it a little bit earlier last game, Charles, and with a bigger stage like Pokemon Stadium 2, you're going to get it. And it's going to be this Palutena kind of projectile game that we've been asking for, right? A little bit more space for Chag to just shoot out auto reticle and just take all this chip damage, right? But here we go. I mean, Wrath took us here, so a little bit more comfortable, of course, but it's really hard to say when it is, once again, this touch and go neutral.
Yeah, and you mentioned PS2 being the largest stage. It's the largest stage by far, so the players have a lot more room to work with than some of the other standard stage sizes, which are usually around the same size, and then you have some curveball picks like Smashville being a bit smaller. But yeah, PS2 definitely a ton of real estate to work with here. We'll see if I love the DI to the right there from Chag. Didn't want the platform extension. You've always got to notice that kind of stuff. Don't want to give your opponent too much damage on these openings.
Yeah, absolutely. But here comes Chag once again, fighting this fall down forward air, but Wrath now going to be able to at least find the reversal here. We'll see if we can find him playing with the lead here. The trade going to benefit both players here as we head back into this neutral point here, but here comes Wrath, finally going to be able to find this back air here, and finally starting to get the hard reads on Chag's movement back to stage. The forward smash not going to connect here, but you can tell Chag now needs to get back into the center stage and control like he was a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we'll see if Wrath can line up these forward smashes. These forward smashes angled downward with Sonic to catch the 2-frame on Palutena up B. It's going to be so important. And I feel like if Wrath can find some way to get these stocks at around that 100 to 120 mark, something with the forward smash or maybe the spin charge fair, we're going to see a lot different game. But honestly, Chag is just making it so difficult to take the stock. Wrath can get the damage, but can you get the stock?
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Palutena is considered to be one of the princess characters. Should not be living past that 160 mark, as I was about to say. But a nice back air to the face is going to allow for Wrath to finally play with the lead so far this set here. But look at Chag, always sharking, and that's the thing with Palutena. She's very tricky on the ledge. A lot of players would go for the back air there, but Chag's smart enough to say, you know what, I want to go for the up air. Still, the down tilt picks up into the forward air, and now Chag is going to press the issue here, trying to find the nair, but we are going to see a little bit of a swap in positioning here, and here comes Wrath, trying to find a way to get this reversal here to have a massive lead, but still Chag going to be okay, at least for the moment.
Oh, but can you get back on to the stage? Only taking 25, and now this is going to be, still surviving here. The explosive flame, great DI. Not going to be able to get the up air connection after the nair, not fully connecting in the nair. Trying to do some drag down shenanigans. You can do drag down nair into the up tilt. We'll see if that comes into play as well. Utilizing the down tilt in neutral, something we don't see Palutena do too often.
Yeah, still though, we're back into this neutral state, and once again, now it's all about Chag not panicking, trying to get this KO here. Here we go, couple up air into the forward air here, and now once again, what's scary about Sonic is that he can really press you from anywhere part of the stage here, but it is going to be the dash attack out of the corner that does do it for Chag. Going to at least even it up into this 2 stocks to 2 scenario. We'll see how Wrath is going to change up the playstyle here, because it seems like Chag is now one chasing.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing about Wrath, too, we saw how high a percentage Wrath got to. I mean, 167. Sonic is a pretty light character, so I really like that Wrath stepping up that defense, getting that first stock lead, knowing when and where to engage upon the opponent here. The back air after the landing there was so clean. Tries to get that angle down, but gets the run-up shield just in time, retreating back, and just incredible play so far. But finally, Chag going to hit the reverse, not going to get the combo, though.
I don't know, still Palutena Pain Train looking as strong as ever here, using the spring to get out, but honestly, Chag had the right idea to chase with the up air here. So now we're going back into this new neutral point here, and now it's up to Chag to be able to either calm down enough or to find one of those cheeky hits of Nair that we saw a little bit in game number 1 that allowed for him to be up game so far.
Okay, here's the Nair, trying to get something here. I love that jab 1 check, but it hasn't been working out too much. Wow, and setting up the spin dash for the tech chase. Wrath is getting great setups, great damage. Oh my goodness, setting up so many different scenarios. Turnaround grab, wow, Chag going straight for the skies there with the Nair. Gonna barely avoid it.
So close, man, but still, once again, we're going back into this calmer neutral point here. Chag a little bit too high of a percentage at this point now for maybe some of those guaranteed Sonic confirms to really kind of go all the way to fruition here. So now it's all about this movement. Once more, both players are just trying to find this one hit, but it's a lot to ask for once again when you're playing against some of the best players in the world here at Supernova. Still, I mean, Chag now above 150%. Once again, one of these back airs can certainly do it.
And one unique thing about Smash, Palutena actually being at this percent, being higher percent, is beneficial rather than being that at that 120, 130 mark where the spin moves can connect, right? And that's one thing that's very unique about Smash. And I think Chag has gotten to a really good spot. As long as you don't get hit by anything too crazy, you can actually get hit by spin moves. It's not going to be too bad here. See if Chag can utilize this high percentage to get some damage on the board, but Wrath only at 58 on this second stock.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? We knew with the clock locking down now almost to 1:30, Charles, that this one was going to be a longer one. And it's because we see Wrath in the driver's seat now, right? Yeah. Even though this stock isn't gone just yet, I mean, the next hit definitely will be Palutena 193 here, as Wrath can absolutely just take his time up a whole stock here. And you know the vibe. Honestly, we're ticking down to that 1 minute mark. Yep. Timeout is certainly on the menu. Yeah,
and I mean, Wrath was playing with a bit of fire there. When you do get your opponent to that high percent, there is a mechanic called Rage. So, yes. There was a big chance that Chag could have got a really big hit, like something like a forward smash to go ahead and get the stock. Now, really, Chag put in a position, there's less than a minute left. You got to make some really big gambles. You need to take the second stock, and you already got to start working on that last stock. The up smash out of shield is not going to be enough. I'm so surprised that Wrath went for that dash attack down throw. Not going to get the true combo, not going to clip the wings, and the homing attack going to bring in the landing.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, Wrath has gotten so much mileage from this second stock as well. We'll see what Chag can do here. Maybe the down throw can't find much else, though, because once again, Wrath, Sonic, so slippery. You just can't track this character down, and that's the thing with a bigger stage, right, Charles? I mean, Wrath's so comfortable here at this point that Chag needs to get creative within the next, checks notes, 20 seconds.
This is so tough, and I mean, at this point, Wrath still doing a ton of damage. I think this is quite literally impossible at this point, and the rinse and repeat over and over. Even if you get the stock, the Angels platform will go ahead and burn 8 seconds, and that will be game, as Chag knows that and understands that, and we're going to game number 3.
Once again, said it earlier, up a stock, you know the vibe.
Yeah.
So still, Wrath utilizing the time to his advantage here, and that's why these bigger stages could be a little bit of a problem, right? I mean, we play to our characters' advantages at the end of the day, and Sonic does get to decide the tempo of the match. Is definitely this tempo maker, but it's also making great tempo for a great match. We've seen both players play at such controlled, disciplined areas here, but now we're going to Hollow Bastion. We'll see how this center platform affects everything.
Yeah, the center platform, I mean, it's pretty large as well, covers a big amount of the stage, and you always hear commentators talk about center stage, right? Center stage is so important, and when you have that ceiling above your head center stage, it's going to prevent characters from going ahead and starting up aerials and going through the platform. So you actually have to go through the platform first to even initiate an aerial, so it gets a bit tricky. Center stage becomes even more powerful on smashes like Hollow Bastion, like Smashville. We'll see which player will be able to take advantage of said thing, and on top of that, again, this first stock's really important. Every time Wrath takes the first stock, I would not be surprised if that's going to be the game win.
That's a crazy statistic, Charles. But honestly, I can kind of understand where you're going at here too. But once again, great parry by Chag. Chag really needs to find these back airs. It's one thing that we weren't seeing in game number 2. It was these nairs that we were kind of missing, right? But now Wrath doing such a good job of controlling not only center stage, but all of it, right? It's no real place for Chag to land very comfortably.
All right, so the percentages are in the favor of, I would say, if Chag can survive this back throw, you do have a lot of rage. You got to get back on stage. I think forward tilt will definitely do it here too. And look at that, Wrath utilizing every bit of that stage, and the forward tilt does connect, which means that is the stock loss here for Chag.
Yeah, and according to you, Charles, that's a game apparently. So
Game.
we'll see how it goes.
Game.
But still, it is going to be Wrath in the lead. We'll see how much the tempo of the game changes here. But now Chag on the back foot. Let's see if we can find the back hit of Nair. We've been really missing that Chag aerial game, right? Because now Wrath, once again, just very comfortably kind of deciding in and out, but a little bit of style here too. I know Wrath's combo game is absolutely insane. There's the back throw from Chag here. Can we get the stock right here, right now?
Ooh, great reaction to the ledge trump, and immediate roll on the stage is Wrath. No punish coming out from Chag, and 55% already tacked on. 120 though. Up air, back air will do the trick here. Tries to force something with the jab, and great delay on that Nair. Gonna get a follow-up as well. Dash attack still not gonna do the trick here. Chag, you're gonna need an answer. You're gonna need it soon.
Yeah, that explosive flame is definitely going to be the answer that we're looking for here. But I don't know how many times we're going to be able to safely guarantee into something like explosive flame. But I know that we can safely guarantee ourselves into a couple of Nairs here to at least get some of this damage percentage back. And honestly, here comes Chag here. Now we're going to see a little bit of reversal here in terms of an edge guard. At least for the moment, Wrath going to be able to get back on stage and find the reversal into the back air here. So now Chag on the back foot, landing on stage though. Wrath completely ready for it here. We'll see how it's going to be punished, but unfortunately facing the wrong way. Chag going to be able to get back to center stage. The percentage is still not looking good.
I think Wrath is doing an incredible job in terms of offense after hitting the spin onto Chag's shield and then coming with that delayed Nair to get that shield poke, right? Not a lot of players really ready for that. Maybe not tilting the shield up. Oh, try to get a big hit, big read. I like that coming out from Chag. I mean, at 60%, I don't know if you necessarily get the stock. That's the only iffy part about that specific down smash, but I think you need to utilize the rage and set up at least a situation where a big hit can get you this second stock, because, and the other thing is you're on the clock too. That's the hard thing about Sonic, right? Sonic does so much damage. When Sonic does get the lead, you're trying to get the stock, but you have to also be careful because the damage output's so high. The jab almost takes the stock at 183.
Yeah, not looking too good if we're Chag here. And now has to be a little bit more creative because Wrath has been doing an amazing job of calling out a lot of these options back to stage here. So now here it's up to Chag, trying to line up for a back air, but still 190%. So now Wrath's going to need something decisive, but that dash attack right into Chag's arms. Let's see if he's going to be able to at least capitalize a little bit more. There's the down tilt pickup, but great DCI off the hit. But my goodness, just the spin that does it, Charles.
I can't say I've ever seen that, so well, shout out to the spin coming through.
7 years and we're still seeing something new every year.
Even if it's with Sonic the Hedgehog, you know what? So great stuff here to Wrath, really extending that lead, making sure, hey, I'm going to get the KO. Again, that was a lot closer than it looked just because of all the rage that Palutena had up in storage there. But the back throw with no rage is not going to be enough. Wait a minute, no double jump,
Beautiful.
And that's a fair. Okay, we got a game here.
Yeah, honestly, Charles, it was coming back to the auto-reticle kind of conditioning Sonic's to jump there, or Sonic's Wrath to jump there, and then being able to find the aerial that closes off here. Chag's still a little bit far down, but honestly, nothing that a Nair can't fix here. We'll see how it's going to go as now Wrath trying to get something going here, but look at that, once more, we can play the clock.
Yeah, I mean, there is still a good amount of time. I don't think Wrath or Chag needs to necessarily rush. Chag does eventually have to approach, but you don't need to necessarily rush just because, I mean, I would say right when there's about a minute left, you gotta start swinging. You gotta start swinging. With 2 minutes on the clock here, both players can take their time. No need to rush. You want to put those reactions to work, right? And just like that, getting a bit of damage. And Chag doing great here. Tries to go for the forward smash, but here's the big punish. The up air not fully connecting, and that's going to be a huge break here for Chag.
Yeah, and honestly, now it's kind of even all the way back up here, just to a matter of small percentages here and there. We'll see if Wrath is going to be able to get the punish out of the corner. Just a forward smash to alleviate some of the pressure, but huge downer by Chag, allowing him to get back into center stage here. But now we're scrapping, and we're going to start seeing this like last hit, last stock scenario here. As long as Wrath's going to be able to find it. That up air looking very, very strong right here, Charles. It could go any way, but look at this. Dash attack back into center stage for Chag here, and it's all about just finding this final hit. But look at the clock. I mean, it's starting to look like we got to push gas.
Wow, and look at how close the percentage are. I love the get-up attack. Oh my goodness, the forward tilt on the wrong way, and is that going to cost you the game? You have one more chance here, and 1 minute left on the clock. Wrath trying to find the backer, trying to maybe find this forward tilt. Goes for the jab, one check right into the grab. Where's the lineup going to come through here? Dashing back and forth, forward tilt, barely out of range. This is so close, Lyric.
Okay, there we go. Finally finding the grab. Can we read it? No, just a little too far off to the right to get the up air here. So now it's all up to Chag. Can we get back to center stage? The parry not going to lead it to anything here. Once again, great spot dodge though by Chag as Footsie's back and forth at this point. The explosive flame not going to chip here. Will the down tilt do it? It will, Charles! It's such a clutch moment here from center stage. Palutena down tilt actually does it. My goodness, Chag going to be able to bring that all the way back heading into game 4.
That was absolutely insane. Center stage, not even on Smashville or Town, straight up on Hollow Bastion there, and wow, you usually don't see the base knockback of the up close down tilt like that. Again, it was, even when Chag was throwing it out, I don't know if it was to clank out with certain moves, but now we're seeing it come in clutch, actually closing out that game there. Chag lost that first stock, and usually Wrath is incredibly strong at closing it out. So really great stuff to Chag.
You know, we said that Wrath got the first stock and then the game was over
I
here.
did say that. I might have cursed you, Wrath. Sorry.
I was about to say your theory has already been disproven here. But we're heading back to Pokemon Stadium 2. No surprise at all. We want Wrath to have that room to run around, but here comes Chag. Once again, finally finding the Palutena pain train, as I love to call it. These nairs in the up air. Such a reliable 50% here, but here comes Wrath. Finding a little bit of a grab to go with, but the thing is, Pokemon Stadium 2, time to eject. You can actually reset neutral.
Yeah, and I mean, having that space is so important here, but here comes the projectiles. We'll see if Chag also mixes it up too. I mean, doing an incredible job clutching out that last game with the down tilt, and even clutching out that second stock. Really, that second stock pivot has been where it seems like Wrath really locks it down and like makes that second stock so hard for Chag to take. But Chag was able on that last game to take that second stock immediately after he lost his second stock. So incredible stuff there, and I think it's so important to not let Wrath just control the pacing.
Yeah, that's hard, right? I mean, Sonic is the tempo maker, essentially,
yes,
of honestly the game at certain points here, but looking so even between both of our competitors right now. Once again, a meticulous neutral where both players don't want to overextend way too much, because then the stock could easily be gone here. But Wrath just taking his time, exploring the stage, exploring the platforms, and Chag is very okay with it, by the way. Just the dash dance comfortably in and out, just trying to find this one hit here, but totally is okay waiting for his moment.
Yeah, he's charging it up, and the one great thing about Sonic, I mean, it's just a character that when you do charge up these spin moves, the spin charge and the spin dash, they do get more powerful, do more damage, right? Set up for better combos, so you want that time to charge up. Usually you'll see Sonic players kind of running towards the corner. Most other characters in Smash, you don't want to put yourself in that position, but Sonic is one of the few that kind of play out of that position, right? It's kind of like a Samus where you go to the corner and just start charging up the charge shot. Go to the corner, start charging up those spin moves, and Wrath is doing an incredible job at it. Like you said, that hit and run style.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things, too, about Wrath and Sonic in general is that the edge guarding as well is so creative, right? It's really kind of this pick your own adventure here sometimes on the side. But once more, Charles, we're seeing a very slow stock one. Great DI out by Wrath here, finds the Nair to pick up some more damage here, but Chag waiting for the moment, and the explosive flame is going to catch the option on the way down. It's going to be Chag up, but I don't know for how long.
Yeah, we'll see if Wrath, now I mean, we've seen this situation before where Wrath can't close out the stock. We've seen Chag really take it so far, especially past 151, it gets a little harder to get these spin confirms, so it's gonna have to be maybe a soft Nair or just raw hits.
Still though, I mean, once again, it's just such a slow down neutral, and at this point, Chag doesn't need to approach anymore, but still doing Wrath the favor here. Gonna be the forward throw here. So now we're gonna try and make it back to center stage. Wrath, okay, not ready for the teleport right in front of him, and honestly, I don't think I would be either at that point. And now we're gonna go back into neutral state here. Chag just trying to find an option, but it is going to be the back throw here. Chag definitely living this one.
Yeah, not going to be close enough to the ledge here, and Wrath not too much rage with the forward air should do the trick. And I mean, a great first stock, but Chag only racking up 17% could be pretty concerning here. You already see Sonic usually doing a minimal of 30 damage, and then that's not even including if there is a platform extension off the up air. Great DI in from Chag, kind of checking the reactions from Wrath there, making sure, hey, I'm going to make this back air, this follow-up as hard as possible.
Absolutely. Chag going to be able to find a little bit of a reversal as well to take some of that percentage back here too. But now it's all Wrath how are we going to be able to find a way in? Once more, Chag going to be able to find this dash attack here, but we're only seeing these 1-2 hit pieces, Charles. We really need to start seeing the strings from Chag again.
Yeah, I mean, especially past this percent, we need to see those nair strings, and we need to see the setups too. You can also even get things like, you know, landing that back air into maybe a tech chase and really set up yourself up for these favorable positions. But it's been so hard to chase the Sonic down. What a convert! I gotta say, as someone who's watched a lot of Wrath's conversion game has gotten so much better. I think that's one thing that was the missing piece of the puzzle for Wrath's gameplay, and I think Wrath has done a great job of working on that offense, on the combo game, and it's why Wrath is able to get consistently high placings at all the tournaments he goes through.
Clock at 2 minutes and 30 seconds here. So time is starting to tick away from us at this point. But once again, that's what these big stages allow for Sonic to do. Just say, hey, you know what? I can do whatever combo moves I want to, and then I'll be safely up for when the timeout happens. Finding the forward air, though, so going to have a huge lead here. But Wrath's still going in, playing a little bit more aggressively here, too. Not going to be able to find the second back air, but still finding a nice 40%. This is going to be a great time going into the final 2 minutes.
And this is, yeah, a lot of damage there. And I will say Chag has been doing a really great job of being outside of the percentage range for the spin charge forward air. That's probably Sonic's best KO confirm. And it's just so strong because you see it connect center stage and drag you all the way out, right? And Wrath was able to finally line that up, Chag making it so difficult, but this is going to spell danger now. You were able to get that confirm and also rack up a ton of damage, up an entire stock here. See if Chag can close this one out. Only 1:30 left on the clock.
Okay, trying to find the down air. Unable to find much, though, but there's the down tilt from Chag. Chag not only has to get this stock now, but has to make up all the percent that he's lost this stock, too. So we'll see how it's going to go. Just
holding down.
Bumping above the ledge here, but here comes Wrath. If we don't need to go to a timeout, we certainly don't need to play like we're going to one. But there's the F-tilt here. About a minute left before the Angel, or about 8 seconds, like you said, Charles, before the Angel platform disappears. It's going to be a very tight 60 seconds.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing about the Angel platform, if you do wait on it longer, you do lose more intangibility. So that is something that is new to Ultimate. So a little bit of a sacrifice, if you will, if you want to burn some seconds off the clock. But it looks like Wrath back to it here. Just going to go ahead and make it really difficult for Chag to get the chase down. Oh, that forward tilt, but the up smash barely missing. Does connect a little bit of it, and there's the down air. Again, Chag really trying to create a scenario where you go ahead and close out this stock as early as possible. You don't got a lot of time. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Yeah, not looking too good here, but Chag once more not letting Wrath really have any time to breathe here. But here comes Wrath, going to be able to find the throw. And can we just end this game in a stock loss, or is it going to just go to time? The forward air is going to do it. We are heading to a game number 5.
Game 5 situation, and it didn't even go to time.
It was close enough.
Close
right?
enough, close enough. Well, I feel like if you get, once you're sub 1 minute, it's pretty much, that's usually the time frame where players are like, okay, I need to start committing. We saw Chag go for the downers, and if you're watching from home and you're like, well, why are you going for all these high committal moves that just get punished and you just end up losing the stock anyway? Well, the clock is what's forcing those interactions, right? If the timer does go off, it is the player with the lower percent and the lowest stock count that wins the game. So it really puts the ball in the court of the person that doesn't have that percentage lead and really got to make something happen.
Well, here comes a percentage lead here for Wrath. He's gonna be able to stack on 50% within just a matter of a couple of moves here. But here comes Chag, just trying to find a way into the zone, honestly. And like we talked about, and a lot of commentators talk about, holding the center stage. And Wrath is doing it so well where Chag is like, hey, you're not approaching me, but I don't know exactly the best way to get in on you.
Okay, and I mean, it's just so hard, especially with the lead as well. Now Wrath, I feel like Wrath is dialed in at this point where it's like, even if Wrath has a percentage lead, yo, I'm dashing back, I'm retreating. I will say we've seen a lot more dash attacking coming out from Wrath, which is such a great mix, because whenever you feel like a player is really, really defensive, that's when you don't expect the dash attacks in, right? And I think Wrath has been doing an incredible job of mixing that into his gameplay for the set.
Well, Chag's going to finally be able to find a reliable string to go with, but not if Wrath has anything to say about it. Beautiful back air placement, though, by Chag here. And now, honestly, this percentage deficit is starting to close just a little bit here, especially in this Game 5. So important that we want to keep as much extra credit as possible here. There's that Nair picking up into the aerial once more, but now it's all about Chag. How are we going to be able to get this stock? Good spot dodge and finds a couple hits in the Nair, but isn't too confident to go for that back air just yet. Once again, this spin dash is so tricky to get around.
Yeah, and now Wrath just lining up, finally getting hit. This is really, really close again. Oh, the up air after the down air was so close to connecting, but I think Chag actually going for the full hop instead of short hop, which might have connected. It was a little tricky there. Everything happening so fast, so many different scrambles. The Nair not going to get the cross-up DI, though.
So close here, but here comes Wrath once more, going to get the throw, and once again, we're seeing a very slow stock one between both players here. There's the forward air, not going to be enough just yet, but still keeping Chag in disadvantage here. We'll see if we can find the grab, and we are. It is going to be the back throw, and certainly going to be that stock. Wrath going to be up.
Oh man, and of course that's the classic, the dash up, turn around, go into shield and wait for that normal get up. We have not seen Wrath do that a single time in this set, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta save it for Game 5.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And that's all about adaptation, but there's what you were looking for, Charles, the down air into the up air. Chag's still able to get these stocks, but I feel like sometimes it's mandatory that he takes about 60% before he's able to start playing. He's always been on the back foot percentage-wise here. As Wrath gonna find a little cheeky part of the forward air to keep Chag in disadvantage here. So now Wrath just trying to get something going here, but still perfectly content with a little bit more percentage on his side.
Fantastic DI coming out from Chag. If Chag actually DI'd that out, the forward air was going to connect. You see Wrath, it was a little awkward scenario for Sonic, so Wrath tried to just cash out with the up air. Not going to fully connect though. Still a lot of damage here on Wrath. You are surviving, but for how long and how much damage do you have to take? You now are out of range, but pretty soon these raw fairs, these raw forward tilts are going to do the trick. On top of that, you got to watch the grab as well. Wrath just doing an incredible job of threatening so many different options, and the percentages just keep on climbing. And I don't think the Rage can really do too much in terms of how much damage is on Wrath anyway.
Yeah, you need one of those just amazing strings through and through with the resets and all that. And that's way too hard to ask for at certain points here. The up throw not going to be enough just yet, but Chag sitting at almost 200% here. All Wrath needs is just an aerial to definitely do it off the top here. But still, Wrath sitting it so comfortably right now. Chag going to be able to get a hit of the Nair, but unable to convert into anything else that's meaningful for a string. Still, Wrath completely comfortable with just waiting for his time. Chag going to be able to find a couple of hits here, going for the down air in desperation, but unable to connect it all the way. Still finding the Nair and the fair at last interaction here, but still, it's just a slow chunk away at Wrath.
And the thing is with this Rage, it's kind of a curse at this point. I mean, you almost have Wrath at a certain percent, but because Palutena had all that Rage, the combos aren't going to be as consistent, right? The knockback increase actually going to work against you in that situation. So it's a bit harder for Chag to string up some damage, but now on the reset, Sonic is up a stock here, so now the lower Rage, it's going to be harder to catch the stock. I mean, Chag just not really in the favorable side for the non-Rage and Rage scenarios.
Absolutely. But beautiful catch on the up air here. Chag definitely has brought himself back into this game very well here, where 28% can be easy for Palutena to make up, but once again, it feels like once Chag hits that 50% mark, then he's able to start playing here. So we definitely need to see a pickup, maybe like a down tilt into something hurry very, very soon here as now Wrath, I mean, it's taking below 2 minutes, Charles. We know it's an option.
I got to give it up to Chag. Wrath is a very good player in the positions where Chag is making comebacks. Wrath is so comfortable in those positions. So the fact that Chag is able to weave just thread the needle in these situations, really clutching up with these up airs and getting the stock with no Rage at around 100, 110, phenomenal stuff from Chag. But you also have that very last step to get over. It's that last stock. Here's a string though, wait a minute, up high.
Ooh, beautiful catch too, Charles, on the landing up air, but the spring is going to bail Wrath out here. It is so important. It's last stock, game number 5, with 1:30, even less to go at this point here. So now it's up to Chag, and that's the one I'm watching. How are you able to catch Wrath here? And is Wrath gonna even give you the opportunity to catch him here? As once again, it's just down to who can find this hit, and not only find the hit, but take it far.
Yeah, in this scenario, usually the percentages aren't really impactful, but now we got about a minute on the clock. Every percent counts here. 66% here on to Wrath. Really trying to utilize that platform. And I don't know if Wrath wants to play on that platform because we saw so many dare cancels into the up air, right? Chag has already shown that trump card, so I think Wrath kind of knows why Chag likes this stage.
Yeah, honestly, but here we go. Wrath going to be able to at least find the prop up here, but great on Chag to disengage and get out. But the thing is, once again, about 30 seconds to go here. Chag needs to find this nair hit and take it all the way, but still, it's so tricky when Wrath just consistently mixing up the movement here as well.
Oh my goodness, wait a minute.
Unable to find anything. Can he catch the landing? The down smash does it? What?
Oh my goodness, Chag finds a way, has the rage, catches the landing, the wing slam down on the Sonic, and is going to clutch it up versus Wrath. Wrath with the lead is insane!
Devin, I need a replay on that flip, bro! That was nuts!
Dang! Dang, Chag, we flipping on him! We flipping on him out here. All right, I see you, Chag. I see you.
Yo,
just like that, man. What a set.
Smash, the down smash out of all things to catch the landing, Charles. The down smash. What?
I saw Chag go for that earlier. I mean, we saw that, right? And around like 60, 70%. And I was wondering, I was like, man, is that going to get the KO, right? But I think the angle that down smash sends is maybe some kind of DI mix-up or is just really, really strong against Sonic. But that was a very, very early KO. My goodness, what a crazy scenario. 74% or 75, boom, the wings come down, and the DI actually did look correct there, and Chag popping off. Man.
Where's the flip, Devin? I need the flip
here it
right
comes.
Here, right now. Slow-mo on the flip. My goodness, look at that. Sticks the landing as well. Simone Biles in the building here.
Woo!
Congratulations to Chag. What a selfie. Oh my goodness.
When you bring it back versus Sonic, when they're about to time you out, hey, that's what it is right there. That's how everyone feels right there. All those emotions as you're getting timed out by Sonic and you finally clutch it out. Game 5, under a minute left on the clock. What a set.
I've been casting Ultimate for 4 years now. I've never seen a celebration. I've seen people get some serious airtime like on the
yeah, the air times, yeah.
I've never seen the flip and stuck the landing too. My goodness.
There was a lot on the line there, all right? There was a lot on the line.
Best pop-off at the Smashies next year. Definitely a contender for that.
Yes, for sure. That got my vote. Yeah, got my vote on that one.